Cricket presents the Campfire, and thank you for tuning in. I'm your host, Ashley Billington. Today we take a look at District 96A as we move over to Region 2. After realignment, this district consists of Garland, Lakeview Centennial, Naaman Forest, Rowlett, Saxe, North Garland, Wiley, and Wiley East. This is a huge 19 district, so that means teams will only have 2 non-district matchups before games that really matter begin. Let's analyze the teams in this district in our film session. Last year, Garland ran through the district undefeated before falling in the first round of the postseason. Their experienced senior class has moved on, but head coach Danny Russell is hoping 900-yard rusher Keontae King will help direct the Owls back to the top of the district. Saxe always finds themselves in the hunt, and this year will be led by a talented core of receivers highlighted by Jet Creel, Khalik Lockett, and Santana Quinn. Naaman Forest will also be a major contender, especially with their size in the trenches, led by 5-star Marquis Steele. North Garland made the playoffs last year with rising junior quarterback God's Power Wewehe. Back behind center, there is no reason to think they won't fight for a spot this year. Rowlett had a down year in 2021, but will look to make some noise, with Harris Boyd coming off an injury-plagued season to start at quarterback for the Eagles. Lakeview Centennial will also be in line for a top 4 finish, as they are led on defense by Trey Wilson and Anthony Harris Jr. Wiley East jumps up from 5A to join this district, and they brought with them athlete Terrell Washington and big-time defensive end Anthony James. Wiley will look to a strong offensive line to help them bounce back from a 3-7 season, while South Garland went winless last year and will hope to be more competitive in 2022. All right, let's dig even deeper into 9-6A as we bring in our Inside High School Sports Insider, Matt Diggs, along with producer Ward Fasold for our district breakdown presented by Cricket.
All right, it's district breakdown time. There's Professor Diggs on location. I love it when he's on location. This time we find him up in the great DMV area where I'm from, but a little bit further up in Maryland. He loves it up there. He does. He just doesn't. I can't admit it. That's why he's wearing that ridiculous cowboy shirt. I guess he's got to though. But we're talking 9-6A. Diggsy, talk to me about this district. It's a 9-team district, and last year Garland was star-studded, and they went ahead and won that district, but those stars have gone elsewhere, and what has that left us with?
Yeah, Garland, and then they had the first round loss to Tyler Legacy, and it just, I remember watching that, listening to that game on the radio as I was heading over to Bobby V's getting ready for the dump, and just feeling, I was heartbroken for Garland because Garland had been so down for so long, and this was the year. Last year was the year, and then just to lose in heartbreaking fashion, my heart broke for Garland. I think Garland is going to be in the playoff mix this year, but I do think they are starting to head on the road down. I think this district's going to look a little more like it's looked maybe 2015 to 2018, as opposed to the last couple of years with North Garland and Garland jumping up in the rankings. I think Garland, Nathan Mitchell is a very highly touted quarterback. I think people are speaking very highly of him. They've got the really good defensive tackle to Marcus McNeil coming back. So Garland had other good players other than those big studs that graduated last year that built up the infrastructure. They started to taste winning a little bit. So I don't think Garland is going to drop all the way off of our radar. But we got Saxe number 1, Naaman Forest number 2, Garland number 3, Rowlett number 4, Wiley East number 5, Lakeview Centennial number 6, North Garland number 7, Wiley number 8, and South Garland number 9.
I appreciate you joining us, Diggsy, and have a safe trip back.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Cricket knows you work hard for your money, so they want you to keep more of it. Switch to Cricket and don't overspend another second. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Diggsy and the Wizard will have even more about this district on our social media platforms this Wednesday. Now let's take a look at some of the athletes you should keep an eye on in this district and our players on the rise. It's not even close to Halloween, but facing Marquis Steele of Naaman Forest on the gridiron could scare the life out of you. 6'6" and 295 pounds, Deal plays both ways for the Rangers, and he is equally as terrifying on both sides of the ball. As a defensive end, Deal had 37 tackles, 8 tackles for loss, and 6 sacks. On offense, he simply bowled over any would-be tacklers. Deal has offers from everywhere, including USC, TCU, and Texas. Corey Kirkling of Rowlett is one of the best receivers returning in this district. Last year, he caught 54 balls for over 1,000 yards and 7 touchdowns. Kirkling isn't afraid to go across the middle of the field and makes adjustments on poorly thrown balls to make the reception. Kirkling will be a dangerous weapon in the Eagles' offense. Terrell Washington will be a 4-year letterman for the Wiley East Raiders in 2023. He can play just about any skilled position on the offensive side of the ball. As a Wildcat quarterback, Washington ran for over 1,200 yards and 15 touchdowns. He also scored touchdowns receiving and passing for the Raiders. Washington verbally committed to the Purdue Boilermakers. One of the better players in this district on the defensive side of the ball is Lakeview Centennial's defensive end, Trey Wilson. He is a bloodhound on the defensive line as he tracks the ball carrier and finds a way to bring him to the turf. Wilson was a first-team All-District player as a junior and recently verbally committed to the Baylor Bears. With the Garland Owls graduating a lot of their star-studded talent, this district is truly up for grabs. Ward Fasold caught up with Naaman Forest head coach Jesse Perales in our Media Day segment.
All right, it's Media Day. We are talking 9-6A with Naaman Forest head coach Jesse Perales. Coach is just back from hip surgery, so let's give him some time to get these answers out. Who knows if painkillers are in there or not? I don't know what's going on. Keep the pain down, Coach. But the pain last year was seeing that star-studded team at Garland kind of go through that district fairly easily, but those guys graduated. So this district's up for grabs. The Rangers have just as good a chance as anybody else. Talk about your chances in this 9-team district.
Well, I feel like we have a great chance, but a lot of winning district championships, they're so hard to come by, and so I think a lot of things have to happen right for us. But we have the players to do it. We have the coaching staff to do it. Obviously, we've done it in the past, but every year is different, and there's a lot of parity in this division and this district. There's a lot of parity, so we're gonna have to go out there and earn it. And I feel like we have a great chance to do that. I feel like we got the people to do it. We just got to go out there and get it done. I really feel like that's our strength, of our team, O-line and D-line. We do have some good-sized guys. We got some guys that like to move earth, and so I think so goes offensive line, so goes the game. And if we can give our young quarterback some time, and if we can open some holes for our stable of running backs that we have, we don't have one guy. We're going to go with 2 or 3 guys this year. So I think we have an opportunity to really run the clock and ground and pound it a little bit more so than we've done in the past. And so I feel like that could be a big advantage for us. We do have an experienced O-line and D-line, so we're really excited about that.
Well, Coach, I appreciate you joining me, and good luck in the playoffs. I know you guys, as a district, want to get revenge on 10-6A from last year. So as you get into the playoffs, if you make the postseason, let's make it a long ride, and I appreciate you joining us.
That'd be great. Thank you very much, and I appreciate you having us. Go Naaman Forest.
We will post the entire interview on all of our social media this Friday. That's going to do it for this week's show. Join us next week when we talk 10-6A, which is a 17 district that added some new blood this year. You can keep up with everything on the high school football scene on our Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram accounts. Until next time, I am Ashley Billington, and thank you so much for watching the show.